June 24, 1947, pilot Kenneth Arnold was flying near Mount Rainier when he spotted a series of flashing lights. They came from a set of objects traveling at 1,700 miles per hour and were darting about the sky like the tail of a kite. This was much faster than the speed of sound, which was odd. No aircraft on Earth could fly that fast, not in 1947. Later, Kenneth described the unidentified objects as moving like a saucer if you skip it across the water. The image of flying saucers was born. Today, on Screen to Screen, we're going to explore the possibility of UFOs. The US government has just released its files to the public. Are we under celestial attack, quietly being observed? Or is this all just a case of overly excited imaginations? The acronym UFO stands for Unidentified Flying Object, but this term has been usurped by another, UAP, or Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon. Both begin with the simple word unidentified. All that means is we can't explain what we're seeing. Sightings of unusual objects in the sky have been around since the days of ancient Rome. Even Pliny the Elder, who documented the world around him until he died at Pompeii, reported seeing a light fall from the sky and then ascend back to the heavens. A lack of modern-day scientific understanding might explain these statements. With our advanced scientific understanding, flying objects should all have an explanation. But even well-trained pilots and brilliant astronomers can be baffled by things in the sky that defy any known science in their behavior. June 25, 2021, the United States government released the long-awaited UAP report with no actual conclusions as to why they are. So, we are left to guess. When you say UFO, the vast majority of Americans instantly think aliens, extraterrestrial visitors, thin, pale creatures with giant black eyes, probing unsuspecting country folk, and drawing artwork in cornfields has become a common image. But if we are visited by aliens, who are they? What did they want? The closest star in our solar system, Alpha Centauri, is 4.3 light-years away. New Horizons, the spaceship to reach Pluto, would take over 78,000 years to get there. According to Einstein, the fastest any object, including humans in a spaceship, would be the speed of light, reducing the trip to 4.3 years. But time would change, so that thousands of years on Earth would have gone by in those few light years. If extraterrestrial beings travel to our planet, they must really need to be here. What do they want? Are they looking for conquest, like the aliens from War of the Worlds? Or maybe they're peaceful travelers, like E.T. Do they wish to help Earth with its climate problems and overcrowding? Or are they trying out exotic new recipes, like Twilight Zones to serve man? And what is with all that probing anyway? Barney and Betty Hill claimed to be abducted by aliens in rural New Hampshire in 1961. The first widely publicized report of its kind, the couple took 7 hours to take a 4-hour drive home. The last 3 hours, revealed later while under hypnosis, were spent with a group of a dozen aliens on a strange pancake-shaped ship. Skin was scraped, hair samples were taken, and the feared anal probe was used, at least on Barney. Betty was able to draw a star map, with the aliens referring to it as an intergalactic trade route. The map was accurate to what was in the heavens, leading David Sanders, a statistician from the University of Colorado UFP project, to call this statistically improbable to have been mere chance. On the other hand, Carl Sagan claimed it was just a series of random dots. Under hypnosis, Betty drew lines that connected the stars, calling them trade routes between planets. Are we possibly on nothing more than an alien shipping lane? The mysterious Area 51, a U.S. Air Force base in Nevada, has been ground zero for alien conspiracy theories since the 50s, when the military used the base to test new aircraft. But it gained notoriety in 1989 when Bob Lazar claimed to have seen extraterrestrial technology photographs of alien autopsies. He was discredited, but many argue that this was what a government trying to hide the truth about alien technology would say. The 1996 documentary Dreamland included an interview from Bruce Burgess, a mechanical engineer. Bruce said he had worked on a flying disc simulator based on a crashed extraterrestrial ship that landed in Roswell, New Mexico on July of 1947. Of course, the Army claimed that it was just a weather balloon, but isn't that exactly what you'd expect them to say? Are UAPs technology from an alternative dimension? In the 1950s, US physicist Hugh Everett described infinite parallel worlds, each off from the other by a mere nanosecond. Quantum physics dives into the issue explaining a particle might exist simultaneously in many different universes. The most famous example of this idea is Schrödinger's cat, where a feline locked in a box, existing in multiple planes, could both be alive and dead at the same time. Quantum physics is extremely complex, and the oversimplifications of the science hide the frightening reality. There actually may be infinite universes. One theory suggests that these connections between these worlds may be thin, perhaps thin enough to travel between. The visions of hell as a fiery landscape may be a portal to a parallel world where beings exist in a universe alive with flame. Demons and devils are just the inhabitants of the dimension of fire, painting our ideas of religion of hell with truth. Are documented cases of spontaneous human combustion simply people who were in the wrong place at the wrong time? Were they at an opening between realms? More frightening is the belief that if you mention aloud this dimension, its inhabitants become aware of you. Perhaps these dimensions aren't just hell. Perhaps once we die, our souls simply pass on to a new realm, a new dimension. Hindu mythology supports the idea of infinite universes, each with its own god. The Persians, Plato, and even the Vikings all reflected on the possibility of the afterlife being a different, parallel universe. Some theories suggest natural sciences act differently in other realms. This might explain seeing lights traveling at impossible speeds or changing directions in ways our technology can't explain. Are UFO sightings just travelers who are crossing planes as we catch just a glimpse of them? Some of the greatest proof that UFOs and UAPs are aliens centers around technology. Ships that flew faster than the speed of sound long before humans broke that barrier. UFOs changing direction in ways that no advanced technology on Earth can do. Odd objects moving between outer space, the Earth's atmosphere, and even underwater at speeds twice those of a nuclear sub makes us question what we are seeing. The science and technology simply doesn't exist right now, but maybe someday it will. Are UFOs some sort of futuristic DeLorean time machine? Were Betty and Barney Hill probed by some yet unborn scientist in a desperate attempt to recreate genetic samples to save mankind? Maybe they're an expensive holiday vacation for the wealthy in the year 2525. The idea that unidentified aerial phenomenon are actually time-traveling humans is worth examining. With space so vast that casual travel would be impossible at most and improbable at least, traveling in time could possibly be more logical than traveling prohibitively vast distances. The chains of evolution led us to 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 head, and a balance of eyes and ears. Without the same DNA, the same evolutionary pathways, and the same natural forces, the odds of living beings resembling us is low. But if these visitors are actually humans from the future, then the descriptions of aliens makes more sense. If mysterious, gray-skinned beings with large eyes and a disturbing habit of probing random human beings are us in the future, then it offers a positive hope that humanity survives the pandemics, climate changes, and constant wars of today. The Matrix is a computer program with all human minds interwoven into a fabric of reality run by a controlling computer. Could it be that unidentified phenomena are merely glitches in the computer program? Ghosts, aliens, déjà vu, and UFOs could possibly be nothing more than a simple programming error. An interesting theory as well as an Academy Award-winning film, the idea has actually been with us for generations. About 2,500 years ago, the Chinese philosopher Zhuangzi dreamt about being a butterfly. So wholly enchanted with the happiness of his carefree life, it seemed real, until he awakened and was himself again. But then he wondered, am I a man dreaming I was a butterfly? Or a butterfly dreaming I am a man? Is this reality we know to be so very real and very true actually real? Actually true? Cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. René Descartes' famous quote reassures us that we live in reality. But what if we are programmed to think? Imagine God as a computer programmer. He wants his sim world to acknowledge him as its creator. There is no God before me. He sets up advanced rules that are as true on Earth as they are on Mars. He computes logic and reason, but adds conflict and self-doubt, just to make his game a little more interesting. His computer is advanced, far beyond the reason of its inhabitants, but like any other programmer, there are the occasional glitches. A ship he designed moves too fast, a light reflection in the sky when it cannot possibly do so. Aliens appear and disappear for no reason. Humanity exists as the result of perfect conditions. the perfect distance from the sun, a rotation that allows the right amount of night and day. Even the moon's effects on our tides allowed us to begin life and exist. Is this a coincidence? Did we adapt to the right conditions, or were the conditions designed for us? Maybe dinosaurs were an early attempt at programming life. They were fun for a few million years after all. Who doesn't like a dinosaur? But something was missing. So one program was wiped out, maybe with a meteor, and a new one begun. So, what do you think? Do you believe in UFOs or UAPs? Are there possibly other life forms? Other beings interested in our small, overcrowded planet? If they've come to observe, then why haven't they contacted anyone? Or is this all just simply a government conspiracy, with some puppet master waiting until the right time to reveal his or her plan to control us all? Let us know in the comments below. And be sure to like and subscribe to The Graveyard Shift. And as always, check back next time to find out what else will make it from Scream to Scream.